Hey, love. You're here with Melanie on the Shy Love Radio Show, Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium. Before we start today's segment, we are going to take 3 deep breaths. I want you to visualize an issue that you're dealing with before you take each breath. As you inhale, I want you to gather up all the circumstances of that issue and then blow it out. 1, 2, 3. Now let's begin with today's segment. We're going to talk about love and the do's and don'ts. Love has its techniques and necessary elements such as honesty and respect. There's an art to loving. If you don't have honesty and respect, you don't have a relationship. It's definitely not a situation that would be considered healthy. It's definitely not relationship goals. Honesty and respect, it goes a long way. Even if the relationship don't work out, the fact that you all built a foundation on honesty and respect, you all could continue to be friends, down the line, or at least part ways without having some type of animosity or bitterness. Honesty. In order for you to be honest with somebody else, you must first be honest with yourself. I'm going to say that again. In order for you to be honest with somebody else, you must first be honest with yourself. Allowing yourself to be pulled into situations or somebody else to have control over your free will, you're doing a disservice to yourself and to that other person. Because even if your mouth isn't saying that you're not ready for what you signed up for, it shows in your behaviors. Respect. We have the Shy Love Radio Show, Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium. So like respect should be a given. Why would you enter into a bond, a form of a commitment with somebody that you don't respect? And see, it's easy to, get along and vibe together when things are going good. But what about the situations where you all differ? What about the points of the relationship where the people's individualism stands out? And you may not agree with who they are in that stance, but you can at least respect that person. Why? Because you said that you love this person. And it's crazy how in relationships, there's such a declaration of love, but when there's a disagreement, all the respect goes out the door. And during those moments, sometimes things are said and done that you cannot come back from. Sometimes things you say and do scar and traumatize that person that you said that you love. when you're in a relationship with somebody, whether it's man or woman, friend to friend, even when you get upset, it should be certain lines that you should not cross. There should be certain avenues that you don't go down. And the objective should not be, oh, well, we're fighting, we're into it, we disagreeing, so, we're fighting, so gloves off. You got to remember that you still love this person, that you're upset about this situation or whatever is going on. But at some point, you still want to continue some type of relationship with this person. So during those times where it's arguments and disagreements, there should be boundaries set within that couple for, how low one should go when dealing with a disagreement. There should be certain lines that should not be crossed. So it says that the art of loving has to be practiced, and there are 5 basic requirements. A lot of people just look at love as, oh, it's an emotion. But love is an emotion. It's a noun, it's a verb. You can use love in, so many ways, so many levels to it. And it's not a situation where, once you've committed to somebody, and that honeymoon feeling of love, where you all googly-eyed and melting on the inside, as life continues going on, that's not going to be the same vibe. So can you love each other enough during the hard times? Love each other enough during the hard times to where it is not producing a wedge between you two, but are actually bonding you two and bringing you all together. You have to have an open mind to understand where your partner is coming from, why they feel like they feel. Put yourself in their shoes and ask yourself, again, would I want this behavior towards me? And it's a daily practice. And a lot of people look at love as a weakness. It takes incredible strength to continue to love, especially with people or certain situations that aren't worth it. For you to still be connected to the love of your natural higher self, that takes incredible strength. So shout love, salute, and hugs to those who continue to love despite, whatever evil situations are occurring. It takes a lot of strength to love and to keep loving. And as you love, you open up. To love is vulnerable, especially in a relationship, because you're sharing all types of intimacies. You're exposing yourself to each other in ways that you're not exposing yourself to the public. So this person has a lot of information on you, and they could cut you or they can crush you. But in order for y'all to really become one, both parties have to open up, put it on the table, be understanding that their perception is their perception, and try to see a situation from the other's perspective. Now, there are certain things that if you are not with it, if it does not resonate with your soul, you can respect the person enough to walk away from that situation, because ultimately it's going to end in perhaps a violent way, or a way to where you two will no longer speak, because the person's behaviors show other than what they were saying. You know, it takes a lot of strength to love. It's actually easier to be mean and nasty to somebody. So discipline. You cannot become proficient if you don't practice it in a committed, disciplined way. When it comes to love and relationships, I myself walk under the Choose and Be Chosen Act. The Choose and Be Chosen Act does not have situations where there are conversations about cheating. There are conversations about abuse. There are conversations about negligence. The Choose and Be Chosen Act does not have those forms of the relationship included in their act, because if I chose to be with you, and that's taking an assessment of who you've shown me as well as what the spirit has shown me about you. And if I say that I'm going to choose to love you, somebody else, there's no room for somebody else. There's no auditions to anybody else. When you choose to be with somebody, you saying, through the good, bad, and ugly, I'm here. It's not a conditional to where, you know, if you're having problems, now you're engaging in acts with other people. And just because you're not having sex with that person, you can cheat infinitely, you can cheat emotionally. When you've chosen a person and they've chosen you back, that's a requited love. A love to where both parties are giving and receiving on about an equal basis. When you have chose and you are chosen, you're honest with each other. You respect each other. Your issues are their issues and vice versa. There's a support network there. You respect that person too much to lie to them. You respect that person too much to put yourself in a situation to where you even have to explain your interactions with somebody else. It's a consciousness that whether you are in the company of the person that you're with or you're behind their back, you still got to carry that same energy. Loving is not a matter of being in the mood, but of developing habitual, functional ways of treating loved ones. Sometimes I would see posts on Facebook and you know what people being together and they posting their little lovey-dovey pictures and everything happy, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, single, I'm bored now. A relationship is not just about entertainment and somebody keeping you from being bored. Yes, it is entertainment within a relationship, but there is work to do. You have to understand the plight of two individuals on their individual journey and somehow find a way to support each other in your individual journeys and build a foundation amongst the two of you. I even saw a post one time with a gentleman who was trying to develop something with another young lady, and he posted that, he puts her through issues. He does things to her to see how much she loves him. He put her in situations where he told her she was his woman, but he pitting her against other women and letting other women feel like her position is open. He's not coming through on certain things that he said he don't come through about. But this is some type of sick mental method to test somebody's love for you. I don't agree with that. When you are getting to know a person, and especially when it is fresh, that is your time to build that foundation, to build that rapport amongst one another, so that when life presents certain circumstances, you're just not easily separated, or you don't allow those issues to form a wedge between you two, because you already have established part of the foundation of that honesty and that respect. You want your love to matter to and be effective for the other. If what you are doing for someone that you have declared your love for, if they are not receiving it, they are not acknowledging it and giving something back in a positive manner to feed your soul, you're in an unhealthy relationship. If you're doing all the work and they're doing all the receiving, you're in a one-sided relationship. And what advantage is that? How is that going to help to build you up as a person? If you are loving someone the best way that you know how, and it is not effective, and you're actually seeing regression instead of progression, and something about your energy and their energy becomes tumultuous, and there's constant fighting, constant headbutting, constant disagreeing. If your love is not enough for them to where they are actively searching for others, building other bonds with others, that is an unhealthy attachment. And see, part of love is wanting that person to be their best selves. And if for some reason your energy and their energy is not combative to the point where you two are building each other up and inspiring each other to do better in life, that real love just make you want to do better. That real love have a man on their David Hollister proclaiming that he a one-woman man, or she's a one-man woman. That real love does not carry that fear around. And have the insecurities that come with it, because you all have established a bond, established a foundation with that honesty and that respect and that commitment. I know a married couple, who they are honest with each other. So far so good with the infidelity issues. And one thing about the man was that he said that the vows that he made with his wife and Mama did God, that's what helps him to continue to stay faithful, to continue to return home even when stuff is getting tight. His vow regardless of the circumstances of the situation, his vow, that ring on his finger, that agreement between him and Mama Did God is what helped him to be the husband for her that he signed up to be. What helps him to calm himself down so that he can try to come up with certain solutions or check his own behavior. Because he vowed to become one with this woman. He vowed for the rest of his life with this woman. So in times of temptation, he said that ring is a physical reminder, but those vows that he made under the eyes of God is what helps to keep him in line. And just shy love salute to any husband, any partner who has that type of mentality, to where even when they put in a position to cheat, to step out, and maybe the chick that he finna do it with, she one of them Team Diaz brides who she'll keep the secret and play her role. And the fact that he could do it and choose not to because of his commitment to you, that's a beautiful thing. The discipline of loving generates prompts to discipline our entire lives as well, so that all that we say or do will be consistent with and harmonious to our loving. And that real healthy love, it changes your life. A healthy relationship, it changes your life. You can, be a chain smoker. All of a sudden, you found extra purpose. You found an extra purpose, another will, something else to will you to live. Now you're prompted to try to bag up off of that so that you can live longer, so that you can spend more time in the rest of your days, as much as time as you can, with this person that you love and who loves you back. It doesn't get any more beautiful than to have requited love. It doesn't get any more beautiful than to be in a relationship of healthy love. There is no perfect relationship. There are times where there will be disagreements. But because of the love that you have for that person, because of the respect that you have for that person, even in those times, it should be some type of love still emanating from you. It should be some type of love still emanating from you. And it definitely will change your life. You will want to do better. You want to do better. And you make a conscious decision to do so. Because what you have is worth making the changes that are necessary so that you can be the best version of yourself for this person. Another requirement, concentration. Don't underrate the importance of giving your full attention. Because life is so full, it's always so much going on, especially this year. And sometimes you're not giving your relationship the proper nurturing and the proper attention that it needs to blossom into what you ultimately want it to be. And during a concentration time, this means to live fully in the present, to be fully present, not still harping over the past relationship, not self-sabotaging your current relationship, but giving and receiving the love of that person that you're with, especially if it's a requited love, especially if it's a healthy love. Such concentration can lead to discoveries about who that person really is and what that person needs and wants. If you don't get to know who you're with, how can you love them properly? You know, there's tips, there are requirements, certain patterns that society says are acts of love. And that's good to start off with when you don't really know a person. But as you get to know a person, you will discover what works for them and what doesn't work for them. You will discover what ignites their passion and what ignites their tears. And as you get to know this person more and more, then you are developing an individualized care plan according to that person's needs and desires. What's the point of giving somebody something and you like it, but they don't like it, but it's for them? You move with people according to how they like. If my favorite pop is root beer and your favorite pop is Pepsi, I'm not gonna bag you a root beer. I'm gonna bag you a Pepsi because that's what you like. Because I see you, because I'm paying attention to you, because I'm getting to know you. If you have a certain regimen, because especially during this COVID and the lockdown and everything, they said the domestic violence rates have been increasing. More people are filing for divorce. You know, sometimes people are just around each other too much, I guess. But if it's a situation where your partner, for example, when they come home from work, they usually be agitated. And it has nothing to do with home. It's just, you know, they agitated, they overwhelmed, it was a rough day, the job is a horrible job or whatever. And they need to come and decompress and spend some time by themselves to resurge their energy, to condition their minds that they are home now. But you got the baby, y'all just had the baby. So you'd have been with the baby at home with the baby all day. You know, you need a little break for yourself. It's his time to take over. And you pushing the baby right into his arms. As soon as he gets in, his energy, you know, he's already agitated. And if as you get to know him, you realize that, okay, when he comes in, he needs about a half an hour or an hour to decompress and, you know, be in the present of being home. Then wait that extra half an hour or that hour before, you know, you put him on daddy duty. You know, same thing with the women, fellas. You have to get to know your individual woman. What worked for the last woman may not work for this woman. And everybody needs a specific type of love. So getting to know a person so that you can be that fulfillment in their lives, and them getting to know you so that they can be that fulfillment in your lives. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So the third one is patience. Loving takes time to learn. It does take time. You can love a person, you can declare that love, but there's a continuing a continued learning of that person, even after you decided to love that person, or the feelings just occurred to where you realize that you love that person, because we're not one-dimensional beings. We change, we grow, certain needs change, certain desires change. You have to be patient and give each other space to grow and be there and be that support for them while they're going through that growth process. It may take an entire lifetime to fully develop your skills and understanding. Impatience is a sign of immaturity and selfishness. You need to practice willingness and to overcome willfulness. Love is a spiritual life from between persons, and it grows and must be nurtured at its own organic pace. Society, especially like when it comes to marriage, so many women, so many men, advocate for pushing some type of control on over the partner, or having some type of possessiveness over the partner, and trying to mold them into who they feel like they should be, versus getting to know them for who they are, meeting them at that point, and then seeing what can develop, from there. And after a certain time, especially when children start to be born, years start to go by, a lot of females tend to put pressure on the man to make him marry her. I don't believe in putting pressure. I don't want a puppy. You don't know when you want to marry somebody. You don't have your own brain to make that decision, and get everything together to commit and say that you're ready for this. It should not be used as a ploy to keep somebody around. It should not be used as a "I'm sorry" gift. I cheated with you with this girl, or I made a baby over here with this girl, so I'm gonna give you the ring so you can feel like you're somebody. But the behaviors are still present, and you can love a person all day and all night, but you have to assess what's good for your spirit, what's good for your past, and you must keep Mama Daddy God. Because I'm gonna tell you, the closer you get to Mama Daddy God, and the more solidified your relationship becomes with Mama Daddy God, you will get spiritual downloads on what a person needs, what a person wants, how to convey, certain things. And a lot of times when we get with a person, that person becomes your God. And you're not still keeping that connection with Mama did God to show you how to move with this person, so that you can give them what they need. You can give them what they desire, so that your love can be effective. The fourth is a supreme concern. You must desire to do it supremely well. You mustn't give up until this is mastered. You got some people who've been in relationships for a long time, or been married for a long time, and they tell you love is not for the weak of heart. It takes strength to continue to love. It takes strength to continue to choose to love in unloving situations. Now, do you sacrifice yourself for an unhealthy loving situation? No. You got to discern who is worth you working it out and when it's time to just, hang up your hat. You have to be open. You have to be vulnerable. You have to be honest. You have to fight for it. And sometimes you have to fight enemies of the self, because sometimes you sabotaging your own relationship. A commitment is saying day in, day out. Just like you choose to get up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning to get ready for work, even though you don't want to, but you committed to it. It's the same thing with a relationship. And try to do your thing, so that no matter what happens, at least this person can say, well, you know what? Whether if it's still working out, that's beautiful. Y'all decide to take that extra step. Or it don't work out, you say, well, you know what? We still develop some sort of bond to where I can still look out for this person. They can still look out for me. Or when we see each other in the street, there's no animosity, because I did the best that I could. He did the best that he could. There's actual testimony, not from other people's mouths, but from the people involved, of saying how they were treated by the other. Faith. You need to have faith in yourself, faith in a loved one, and faith in love. In the Bible, it says, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed. A mustard seed is so tiny, y'all. But if you have faith of a mustard seed, if you have faith that whatever is off track can be put back on track. And I'm telling you this, faith without works is dead. It don't mean nothing if it's only coming from the mouth. But your actions are showing that you don't believe in a relationship. Whatever you believe, you can achieve. And see, when you're dealing with another person, there has to be an alignment, because one person can't just carry the entire relationship. This is a covenant. This is unity. And once two people have decided that this is where they're going to be, certain changes need to be made. And when things start to get rocky and you feel some type of way, you can feel that emotion and deal with it. And you communicate. And you got to be open to what that person is communicating to you. You got to be open to how they're telling you it's making them feel. And if after that, you still decide that you want to live life the way that you want to live it, regardless of how your actions are impacting the one that you say you love, that's an unhealthy situation. And out of love, out of respect, you should walk away if you know for certain that this person is holding on for nothing. Because baby, you can have all the faith in the world, but if the person that you with don't have faith back, is not in alignment back, what you gonna do? Stick around till all the other chicks decide to go ahead and walk off because he ain't worth being bothered with, and now you feel like you won because you the last chick standing. But you got such a healthy, unhealthy past, an unhealthy present, looking like an unhealthy future. As long as you still say you still got this person, right? A one-sided relationship, a never-ending success. Both parties have to be involved. And whoever you pray to, whether it's Mama D, God, with Jesus, Buddha, Papa Legba, whoever it is that you're going to, you got to have some type of spiritual connection. Because see, when a person loves you for real, especially a woman to a man, and y'all sexually active, she is connecting with your soul. She is connecting with your spirit. She don't even have to be there to know that something is wrong. And because she loved you and she pays so much attention, probably too much attention, or she in tune spiritually, so that intuition, as they call it, is giving her signs and symbols that something is not balanced here. That's what you got to understand that. There's no point in trying to deny it, downplay it, or nothing. Because when you know that somebody loves you for real, and you all have become one spiritually, and you have tuned in, she is now carrying your energy. You are now carrying her energy. It's just like with a female, and say she's upset, but she don't want to talk about it. And she's saying, you saying, what's wrong? She's like, nothing. If you know that she's saying nothing, but her whole energy has changed, even if she don't want to talk about it right then and there, let her know that your energy is telling me other. And if you don't want to talk about it right now and you try to process how to deal with whatever is going on with you, I'm open for you to come and talk to me later. Because you love her. So you can feel when something has started to change within her. Love is powerful. And it's the greatest thing in the world to us right here at the Shy Love Radio Show, Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium. It's worth it. That real love is worth it. And be careful about misplaced loyalty or being loyal to a fault. Because a lot of females, you want to be this down ass bitch and do whatever. Let me tell you what I'm through whatever on. I'm through whatever if you lose your job. I'm through whatever if you're building up your funds. I'm through whatever if you lose a family member. I'm through whatever if you personally start to get sick. I'm here. When it comes to cheating, come to lying, abuse, neglect, I'm not for whatever. It's going to be a problem. I know that much about myself. So ladies, you sticking around because this man is constantly, this is his lifestyle. He a cheater, he a liar, he a narcissist. It's about him. He hedonistic in his ways. It's about self-pleasure all the time. It doesn't matter who he hurts to get it, including the person that he looking into, your eyes and telling you that he loves you. But he don't care about what his behavior is doing to your relationship, what his behavior is doing to you. But you got to prove yourself to him to show that you a down ass bitch. And he's slowly taking your life energy from you. Love yourself enough to know when to hang in there and when to walk away. But don't walk away from the Shy Love Radio Show, Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium. We'll be back with more topics. Enjoy your evening, love.